Welcome to Mindful Minutes by 01 Mindfulness. February is a month of relationship and bonds. We are doing a series on relationship. The first episode is on the relationship on creativity. We've got a celebrity guest on our show, Miss Payal Singal. Payal Singal started her journey at a very young age. Her label got launched in 1999. She has a store that started in Mumbai, spread all across, and now she's even present in USA. Payal Singal is a very creative person. Creativity is in her blood. A third generation Singhal, which is giving creativity to the city of Mumbai and whole of India. She specializes in bridal wear. Having spread her wings to America, she's making most of the bridal women extraordinarily pretty with her work. She's focused on building a brand that's relevant, accessible, and forward-looking. Welcome, Payal, to the show on 01 Mindfulness on relationship with creativity. A pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you, Mr. Valecha, for having me here for your relationship series for 01 Mindfulness. I've grown up with creativity, and my relationship with creativity has helped me create a niche in this industry. And I'm also working towards a very mindful life now. So I'm really happy to be here.
When did you realize that you wanted to pursue designing?
So actually, I am very lucky. I realized that I was interested in fashion at a very, very young age. I would say 11 or 12. My parents had a garment manufacturing company, and my dad was a designer. But it doesn't always happen that you get attracted to the same career as your parents. But I was sketching away, and at the age of 15, I actually won a national contest in design. And I think that was like the final stamp of that. It was not my imagination that I wanted to be in fashion, that I actually deserved to be in fashion. So that's how it started.
Wow, I like the word deserve to be in fashion, and wow, hasn't that deserving brand Payal Singal gone miles?
I hope so. I work really hard, and a lot of people ask sometimes that what does it take to be successful? And I don't know anything else except that I'm sincere, I work hard, and I try to learn something new every day. So, if that's what it takes to be successful, then that's what I do.
Lovely. Is there nepotism in this industry? Like we believe nepotism is in many creative fields. Is there nepotism in this industry too?
So, it's a very interesting question for someone like me, because I grew up in the fashion industry. So technically, I am a product of nepotism, technically. But as in all industries, or if we even talk about politics, which is where we really understand this word nepotism from, is the king's son always becomes the king, right? So I don't think nepotism is really the problem. The king will still be a good king if he is a deserving person, or if he is a good man or a good leader. So to me, yes, opportunities in every field of life, whether it's in fashion or film or industries, it is nepotism, Mr. Ambani's son is going to take over Reliance, right? But the thing is, what you do with that position of power or that opportunity is what truly defines you, not the nepotism.
Very well said, very well said. You're a designer and creativity defines you. Can you share some insights with all of us?
Yeah, of course. I mean, creativity is something that cannot be learned, in my opinion. It's something that you have. It can be polished. It can be, kind of improved. But it's not something that you can learn. That's, a myth. It's something which is instinctive. I guess, you can be creative in any field. It doesn't have to just, when, people think of creativity, they usually think of something which you do with your hands, and it's either an art or a craft. But creativity can be in any aspect of life. Like managers can be creative, like they can use creative ideas to have solutions in their workplace. So I think it's about how insightful you are and how empathetic you are to a situation. And to me, that is creativity. That you think of a solution in a creative way, and that can be in any field, and that's what creates something unique. So that's how I would define creativity in a more larger format.
Very well said. Some more insights of creativity that you have seen in your progress of growth?
I think creative people, I don't know if I'm, I'm not that old, but I'm not that young. I have experience. I feel like we are never satisfied. And I think that's a good thing, because when you get satisfied, you stop growing. And to me, creative people are always restless. They want to learn more, better themselves. They are in competition with themselves mostly. And that's a good quality to have, as it challenges you, it keeps you motivated, excited, and also hopefully keeps you humble, because that is very important too.
So creativity has got something to do with restlessness and relentlessness.
Yes.
What is more important, restlessness or relentlessness?
I think relentlessness, because that drive that comes from, I'm not going to hear no for an answer. You can talk to the top creative people in the world, in any industry, like I said, film, art, fashion, business, and they'll all tell you that it was their relentlessness that has brought them where they are.
Absolutely. It was a very bold plunge to start your own brand, Payal Singal, the brand. What were your biggest fears when you took the plunge? Especially coming from celebrity parents, there's a lot of pressure on the child who wants to launch on his self or herself on her own. What were the fears that you had when you started your brand, Payal Singal?
I think the good thing about starting young is that you're fearless. And you don't have any kind of benchmark of what it is to fail, because you had you've not started to see those hurdles yet. I was all of 21, and I have to be honest, I learned my lessons a few years later, and that's when I really believed that my real passion for my career started. So I was completely oblivious to fear at 21. And today, when I launch something new, I am more cautious. I am more nervous than I was when I was younger. But when you put yourself out there, I think the fear is always of being judged. No matter what it is, right? With every outfit, with every post, what you write, everything is being judged now. And how do I deal with that? I honestly have to love what I'm doing. I have to believe in myself. I have to be convinced that I'm putting my name behind this. Even if I'm making an opinion which is slightly controversial, I have to stand by it. And once you do that, and you have no fear of judgment, you're golden.
So Payal the 21 fearless, Payal now very thoughtful. Is that the right way to summarize?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say I was when I was 21, I was fearless and foolish, and I say now at 44, I'm more mindful and empathetic.
Lovely. Social media is playing a very important role globally in the fashion business. What's Payal Singal, the brand, doing, being active in the e-commerce space?
I was, I don't know, maybe I was a young, visionary, I don't know, because actually my generation did not grow up with computers, contrary to belief that, because I'm actually a 70s child, and I got my first email address in college. But I think what has been a quality for my brand that has helped is that we're constantly pivoting and adapting. and we're a very dynamic company, so we keep changing. I like to learn from the younger people, and we've been active on social media for years. Since it started, we've had an e-commerce site for more than 15 years. Even when no designer, like a lot of designers launch their e-commerce sites now in the pandemic. And I've had an e-commerce site for like almost 10 years now, and a website for more than 15 years. So I would say that, we were already thinking ahead, even though I was not growing up with this kind of technology. And I think there's a very close association between science and design. And a lot of designers, you'll notice and see, have a very technical side also to them. So I think maybe that's what it was. Like, even though it was scary to me because it's so techy, but I had an interest in the medium. I found it a very interesting medium to explore the whole internet, like your world right there on your computer.
So adaptability was the key, which you embarked very early, and you're seeing the fruits of it now.
Yeah. So while everyone else in lockdown was making their websites, we were enhancing our website. We were looking at new ways to reach out to our consumer, giving them more product line, a much more consumer-friendly experience. And so we have been ahead of the game in this respect. And I mean, technology has really helped the brand. And like today, we're ready for it. I mean, I don't feel like I'm trying to catch up. I'm actually trying to keep going, the way we are.
Lovely. The field that you're pursuing has got a lot of glamour attached to it. Along with glamour comes insecurity. How do you deal with insecurity in this job called creativity? And do you do anything to de-stress, to calm your mind? Anything that you do to be a little more mindful of what you said earlier?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Our industry is a very frail industry where egos are concerned. As I said earlier, I survived because I was fearless. And as you start to become more evolved and understanding, you also become more sensitive. So yes, there have been times when I've cried myself to sleep and felt like I'm not creative enough or I'm not a good designer. But the real beauty of that all was that I learned from those experiences. And I realized that that's not what defines me. Who I am as a person defines me, and my work is, everyone has a right to an opinion. So it's very relative, and I cannot please the whole world. And the minute I started to understand that as a young adult, I started to become more comfortable with criticism or analysis or feedback. And today, actually, I appreciate negative or healthy criticism, like negative comments or healthy criticism, because I learned from that too. So the real trick is actually to detach yourself from the failures and the successes, and just to concentrate on what you like to do and put your best out there. So,
how do you achieve that?
A little bit is, I recently experienced something, and I'll share that. There was something going on social media, and obviously I was getting really affected. And then I realized that, the real problem is in my own head. If I don't let it affect me, because I know I'm truthful, I know I'm honest, I know I haven't done anything intentionally to hurt anybody, as long as I have that faith, because that's important to me. Everything else is just noise. It's just chitter chatter, and I should be confident, I should be happy, I should be proud, and that's where it ends. And you switch off, you play a good game of Rummy Cube or Mono Deal, and you calm yourself and you move on. And every morning I do practice a little bit of meditation. I'm a very chaotic person in my head, but I do just silencing your mind. It helps you to set the tone for the day. I will not say I succeed every day to be calm, but at least I have many days that I'm calm. And to me, that is, being a success at mindfulness.
Yes. So I would suggest that in 01 Mindfulness, we have meditations, we've got affirmations, and we have a huge positive feedback that if you follow that practice as a habit, and if you do it for 21 days, it becomes your next skill.
Yeah.
It kind of makes your life and work more productive.
Absolutely. And that's such an amazing thing you guys are doing. And that's so true. It's like it takes 21 days to make something a habit, and just a little bit of meditation and mindfulness and just conscious living. Just being aware of what you're doing. Even if you make a mistake, even if you lose your cool, even if you have a bad day, if you're conscious about it, you'll be able to make sure you don't do it again.
Very well. Very well. Now, the most fun part of today's episode is Quickfire round. In Quickfire round, Payal, we'll ask you a question, and you got to be very quick and very brief, so that we all get the message of what's going on in your mind.
Alright.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Would you rather have money or time?
Time.
Nice. Would you ever be on a matchmaking reality app?
Never.
If you would like to be on a cover of a magazine, which one would it be?
Obviously Vogue.
Thought as much. Would you rather go 30 days without your phone or life without a dessert?
So full life without dessert not possible, so 30 days without my phone.
Any celebrity crush that you had when you were young?
My God, so many, from Kirk Cameron to Keanu Reeves, but currently it's Bradley Cooper.
The flavor is Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
Which designer you wore for the first time?
So I think my first designer outfit was by my dad, Mr.
Wow.
Singhal. I think when I was in school, he made me my prom outfit.
Prom?
Yeah, but it was different because all the girls were in dresses and I was wearing culottes and a crop top made by his company, London Fashions. So yeah, I think that was the first designer I ever wore, my own dad.
I have the power to read your mind. What would people hear when they read your mind now?
So right now I'm very calm, but usually it would sound like VT station because there's lots going on all the time. Like I think I have 2,000 files inside my head, all working on different projects, and so you hear a lot of noise.
Payal, the heart of the show. 5 takeaways from your intimate relationship with creativity that you would love to share.
Very interesting. I think over the years, the biggest relationship I've had with anyone has been with my own creativity. And I think the 5 big things I've learned from this journey has been 1, humility, which means you need to constantly stay humble, always. You are never bigger than anyone or anything. You are a person, and the creativity is bigger than you. You are just a vehicle to express it. What I've learned is that you must do things with passion. You should be passionately in love, you should be passionately creative, you should be passionately empathetic, you should do everything with passion. And because it shows when I do things which I'm not feeling from my stomach, it shows in the work. So I would say that's another big takeaway. Also, I've learned that over the years, consistency is very important. You can be creative and you can have those moments where you want to really push the boundaries and explore. And I remember when I started my career, my father told me, remember, we are all artists, but as designers, what we do is we make wearable art. So you have to remember who your consumer is, what you're trying to sell, what's your story, and stay consistent. Constantly show up to work, constantly give the consumer what they want, and consistency goes a long way. Also, another big take home is hard work, the importance of hard work. Honestly speaking, I wouldn't even have enjoyed my success if it was given on a platter to me. The fact that I enjoy it today and I am happy about where I am is because I know how hard I've worked to get here. And I've pounded the pavement and I've enjoyed every minute. I feel it has made me the person I am today, which is hopefully humble and respecting of the opportunities I've received, and extremely grateful. So yes, hard work is another big takeaway. The last takeaway, which according to me has impacted my personal life too, is empathy. I think we design from a point of view initially to show our creativity, but eventually what you realize is that you are designing for somebody else, and that needs an emotion of empathy in that, to understand how will this wearer feel in this garment, how will she get in and out of it, how can I make it comfortable, how can I make it affordable, how can I make it something that she puts on and feels amazing about herself. So I think I come from a place of empathy as a designer then, and that has also helped me so many other walks of my life to understand things from other people's point of view versus just mine. And it helps me also make a lot of creative design solutions for the business. So these are my 5 takeaways from my relationship with creativity.
February stands for Valentine. February stands for love. Payal, what's your take on love?
Love to me is mutual respect and friendship. I think when you have that in any relationship, that's love. It's with your parents, with your children, with your husband, with your co-workers, with your friends. It boils down to these 2 things.
Well said. What was a rookie mistake that you made when you started out?
This is a classic one which I tell a lot of young designers. So I started my label right after fashion school, and I think that was a rookie mistake. Because I learned at my own expense, which is like, why should I have done that? And honestly, what happens is my experience is limited to understand how other people's businesses operate, which is very important to learn, which is why they even tell you to do a job between your graduation and your MBA, right? So I think my advice to all young designers starting out is that definitely invest 2 to 3 years in learning with someone else at someone else's expense.
What's the favorite part of being a designer?
This never gets old. My favorite part of being a designer is when that idea or that drawing or that little doodle or a conversation turns into something tangible and real. That moment, it's almost like seeing a butterfly. So I've the sketch on paper, and then after sampling and cutting and stitching, and it becomes a full real garment. It's like magic. That's my favorite part.
It was wonderful having you with us, Payal. There's great insight that we got on you as a person and your relationship with creativity. Thank you so much. There's lots more to come on Mindful Minute. Stay tuned.